This is one of my recent commissions. It's for a house with tulips in the garden. And since I work on MDF boards, I have them already primed and I start with acrylic underpainting. So I try to make it wet in wet while no layer is still dry. I'm trying to cover everything in the first general sweeping layer, block in. And then I let it dry at least a little or a lot fully. And then I go over that. In this case, I didn't want it to dry, but it actually dried. And I wanted the house to be soft and moved into the garden, to be a part of that garden, to not conflict too much. So, because the main point of interest is actually those tulips that I forgot to film how I blocked in acrylics. But it's the same as in oils. Right now I'm working in oils. I'm covering everything, every little bit of that painting with oils, and the information from acrylic layer helps me with contrast, helps me to figure out if I need to go darker or lighter, and to stay accurate to the photograph, and actually to stay also within the harmony of the whole little piece. And the smaller the piece it is, the harder it actually is to make it look as a single landscape without breaking something, because a little brush stroke that is out of place will ruin the whole harmony. And yeah, those little windows are super hard. This is such a lovely piece, you don't want to ruin it. And when I paint spring, flowers, summer, any landscape, basically anything, it's really important for me to show that it's an oil painting or a painting in general. So being a photograph is not a compliment to me. I wanted to add some personal touch, like those brush marks that I like. I actually enjoy the brush strokes a lot. And one of my favorite painters is Sargent, whose brush work is just fabulous. I wish I could ever come close to where he is with his brush strokes. They're so accurate and so beautiful. And of course, I always loved Van Gogh. Actually, not always. I didn't love him before I saw a painting in a museum. I didn't like the reproductions of Van Gogh's paintings, but when I saw how he works with his brush in the museum, I sat down and literally cried, because the brushwork, the accuracy of color, the general impression of his expressionist painting. Anyhow, I try not to replicate their styles, but those two are always in my head. They're somewhere in me, helping me not to overblend, helping me not to become a photograph in oils. And this is the worst thing I think that a painter can do, is to make a photograph in oils. And that's why I asked the person to whom this painting is about to actually go, do you want an accurate representation of your photograph, or do you want those tulips to be more fresh? And she said fresh. So again, I am not a photograph in here, because I'm creating those tulips that have already bloomed away. I don't know. My English is my third language, so it's hard for me to speak. Anyhow, when I paint, every time I'm trying to find this very fine balance between decorative, purely beautiful, and also expressionist. And I think that even impressionists try to express their attitude, their visual delight in the everyday world or the world they saw around them. Anyhow, this is my painting for today, and I hope you like it. And it's fairly painterly, and brush strokes are all visible. Main thing is that the person who commissioned it likes it, and this is another happy little painting.